Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing something a little bit off topic. This will be the tour of my whole entire bedroom of 2013. So let's get going over to my cell phone, which I'll be doing all the recording with. Alright, so starting off down here is my little shelf which I got my knickknacks on. So, and I also have a of computer books for different applications, which I have yet to start reading and all that. But I do want to get going on a lot of those certifications. Up here is where I usually keep a lot of my blank CDs, or CD cases I should say. Up here is the little cheap $1 wire racks that I bought from Dollar Tree. And these actually do serve a purpose for more storage. In this little metal container, I hold all of my anti-static bags, and I've got a lot of mismatched CDs in there. Over here is basically another big batch of miscellaneous stuff. Alright, take a look at this little corner. You can tell it is very disorganized. So, and let me grab my little pointer. Down in that area is just a bunch of junk. An old little radio which does AM and FM. Right here is a subwoofer which the power adapter has died. Another power adapter, and under the subwoofer I have my VCR. This is a little stereo receiver. And over in that very corner there are my CD cases and a random bubble wrap bag. I'm moving up my shelf. Alright, I got two Boston acoustic speakers back here, a random orange piece of paper. Now, the little red container that I have is my computer repair kit. So I'm going to grab it for you and show you what I have inside of it. Just give me a minute here. Down here is where I keep all my screws, thermal compound, screwdrivers, my ratchet screwdriver, my screw bits, the little screwdriver that came with my external enclosure, and below this is where I have more screws. Now I actually like having this type of setup here so I can take it with me when I need to. So, get it back on. And then, in case you're wondering what's in the gray container with the party light sticker, is where I keep a lot of my spare PC parts, such as optical drives, sound cards, you name it, I have it in there. Now, moving upward on the shelf, just raise my tripod a little bit. Yay, we're going up. Ding! At the floor. Alright. So, you can tell that I have three computers right here. This one right here, you might remember, is my current file server, which has a MSI K8MM3V, and now has 2 gigs of Ultra 400Hz DDR RAM. I have a little HP CD Raider 8200 series. I also have a AMD Sempron 32 or 3400 Plus, which is a 2 GHz processor. Then right here is a old Dell Dimension 2400. I have that loaded with 2 gigs of RAM and with pfSense on it, which is not active right now. And it also sports a Intel Pentium 4 2.8 GHz processor. Now I have a little void here in case I need to store another system, which I've got filled with different things. So, and over here is a old HP Pavilion 554Y. Now I had the original motherboard hanging on my wall, seeing that it has basically died. So, and seeing as it refuses to boot up correctly, I now have a PC chips motherboard which I have gotten from a friend of mine, which sports a AMD Sempron 2800 Plus, which is a 1.8 GHz processor. Moving on up. Okay, that was not good. My little tripod thing, my jigger decided to not work, so Up here is where I have a lot of my boxes. Up that box right there is where I keep a lot of my miscellaneous stuff. I have a dead optical drive, a old Kobe subwoofer, the piece of shit router, AMD stock cooler, and a lot of other boxes. The two boxes on the far right are boxes for cables. And I also have my 6790 GPU in there. Alright, taking a look at the one end of my desk. You can see that I have a old Dell Dimension 310 setup, which is sitting on the floor. So I'll have the extra space to store items there when I don't need them. So basically I have a old Dell keyboard here. Yes, I went old school with the monitor. Got it for free, can't complain. An old Logitech mouse, which I have gotten from my grandpa, seeing he no longer uses it. Now the reason why I have this set up is for when my main computer does happen to break down, or if I'm in the middle of rendering a video. So this system is set up for my tinkering and also for my basic needs when I am doing something with my gaming rig, when it's being like rendering a video or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide on down. Come on down, you're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Alright, so let me get the chair out the view here, if I can. Alright, sorry my desk is a little cluttered right now, but trust me, this looks a lot better than it was originally. I will tell you that much. Alright, so centering in on the little white stand I have, moving a little closer. This is where I usually keep a lot of my different stuff here. Because down here I have a Netgear router, which is my secondary router, which also has Wi-Fi, so I have my own little private network. My naproxen sodium for my bad shoulders. A tuba mouthpiece. I also have two coasters, which are legendary trains. I'll show you them. The Great American C440 and the War Bonnet. Those are some really legendary trains. Then back here is where I have all my memo pads, and back there is also a old cell phone case, which I used to use before I got the case for my current phone. Then I also have the weight container for my gaming mouse. Right here is my little fan for when I use in the summertime. And right here is obvious where I keep all my writing utensils, in case you haven't seen anything. I'm moving on over to my main setup here, which is where I usually spend most of my time. And some of it may look familiar due to the fact that I have done some video reviews in this very area. Alright, so again, the monitor I have, which is right here, and hi by the way, is a Asus MS228 21.5 inch monitor. Now I'm currently using the DVI to HDMI cord, which was included since I had to sacrifice my HDMI for my media center PC. And down here again is my Logitech G510. I'm in the middle of writing an outline for a video review for that. And then over here is my Cybersniper Silencer gaming mouse, which I do have a video review up of that mouse. And I gotta tell you, it is a very nice mouse for the money. And right here is obvious the Cybersniper Tracer mouse pad. And then over here, oops, can't see me. Right over here is my main gaming rig right here. Now getting a little closer here. Alright, so I did make a couple of upgrades over time. It now has 2 cold cathode lights and now has 4 hard drives. 3 of the hard drives are 500 gig and 1 drive is a 320 gig, which is all running in RAID 0. I'm just looking for the speed, so I'll basically sacrifice a couple of gigabytes of storage. I also have an Asus MS. Ugh. Man, I cannot talk tonight. Good thing this is more of a blog video, so But the motherboard I have is the Asus M4A77D motherboard, which has an AM2 Plus socket. I have a Sapphire Radeon HD 6790, a Rainmax Hybrid 730 watt power supply, an Asus DVD burner, and you can tell I also have my arm bracers up there on the top. It's a good spot to put them. And then over down here, I have a little aroma melt piece from Party Light. The black thing right there is my hard drive enclosure, which I recently did a video review on. So it's definitely a nice setup so far. And as you notice, I actually have a table instead of a desk that is screwed on to the wall. So let's get to the other end. And by the way, I also got a change in headphones, which are the Rosework RHTS-8206 5.1 gaming headphones with vibration feedback. Alright, now taking a look at the other end of my room. You can tell it is severely disorganized, but again, it looks a lot better than it did before. So basically on the left side of the bottom shelf is where I keep a lot of my personal care products, and yes, I do have a ton of deodorant. Then towards the middle here, just let me move my little bottle and hi again. I have a lot of my necessary cables that I use right here. And then right there, my finger there, is where I keep a lot of hard drives. And yes, they are all IDE. And yes, I still have a use for them, I just gotta get more systems to use them for. Then on the little tour on the right, the little drawers full of cables. Now look at the second shelf. Again, is a little bit disorganized, but did look better than it once did. So basically on the left, on the little area there, is again just random stuff. And then in the inside is where I usually keep some of my power adapters and also some miscellaneous things. Now, going on to the third tier is where I have my GameCube, which I have got to get hooked up somehow. And I also keep my blank media right here, in case I need it. And in case you're wondering what's in that CD case, are blank DVDs. Then on the top here is where I keep all my important stuff, such as my video review binder, my little collapsible filing cabinet, we'll call it, or whatever. And I also have a box of miscellaneous stuff. Alright, it's time to go up again. Hope my phone doesn't go lopsided on me like it did earlier when we were looking at my black rack. Up and up we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Alright, moving on up. Yes, there is a Star Wars blaster. Alright, starting from the left again is the very top shelf, which is where I keep all my collectibles at, as you can tell. And yes, I also have a Wookiee, a Stormtrooper helmet, and also a Darth Vader mug, which are made out of ceramic. Now down below, you can tell I have 4 dead motherboards. Quite a few of them have blown capacitors. The one with you see all the PCI slots will not power up. And then the one motherboard on the right is the motherboard of that old HP Pavilion. So, and also looking at the little drawer here, which is made out of cardboard, which does not match my room, is where I keep a lot of my clothes and also 7 pairs of slippers, which I gotta sort through and get rid of. And there's my hand moisturizer again. But the top drawer is where I keep my socks. Second drawer, my underwear. Third drawer, my slippers. And the bottom drawer, lots of miscellaneous papers. Alright, going back up once again. Just gotta use my tripod here. Up once again. But anyway, I also want to give a shout out to all you guys that I will be getting a build video up here pretty soon, which will be also another Skulltech tutorial, which I've got to get the first one done. And there we have a Vantech Nexstar TX external drive enclosure box, and I also have a old Asus AN-VM CSM revision 1.01. Now, this motherboard has a couple of bone capacitors, and when I went to use this in my media center, it decided not to boot up. But moving on over, go by my closets where I keep my collection of hats and my old studded belt. And then you see my cowboy hat, which you occasionally see me wear. Then you see all my belts I have currently active, and also my wallet. Alright, taking a look inside my closet. So I basically keep all my good clothing in here, especially if I have like a job interview or something. Down there is where I keep all my dirty clothes. My backpack, which has my laptop in it, which is an Acer Aspire 5920 with a 200 gig hard drive and 4 gigs of RAM, and a Intel Pentium, no, not Pentium, but Intel Core 2 Duo T5450. Then over here is where I keep a lot of my mainstream clothes, and that a tuba. Let's take a look inside. Hello? Anyone inside the tuba? No one's home. Then down here are my brand new boots. Yes, that's right, my new boots. Be jealous. These things are comfy. Then the black shelf is basically where I keep a lot of my extra items like that are small. Then right here I have a sign saying, "Wish it, dream it, do it." That is a very inspiring sign. Let's do a full 360 of my room. Hey, look, that's a nice picture with calculator open. This is just a final sweep through of my room. Sorry for the laggy video, as I am again using my phone. And I forgot to mention, I do have an air conditioner which I use in the wintertime still. And I forgot to mention the filing cabinet.